Hello, today we will be talking about how to derive cybersecurity goals. Let's talk about the crucial link between threats and cybersecurity goals, particularly in the context of ISO C 21434. This standard emphasizes the importance of defining clear cybersecurity goals to protect critical assets. So what exactly is a cybersecurity goal in this context? Essentially, it's a concept-level requirement that focuses on safeguarding assets that, if compromised, could lead to a damage scenario. These goals form the foundation upon which lower-level security requirements are built. Organizations leverage these cybersecurity goals to develop policies that guide their protection strategies. This ensures that every aspect of the system, from design to deployment, is aligned to defend against potential threats. So why is it so important to define these goals? The primary purpose is to prevent the compromise, detection, and monitoring of critical systems known as the target of evaluation by potential attackers. By establishing robust cybersecurity goals, we can protect sensitive components like diagnostic systems, control units, and communication interfaces from malicious activities. Now let's break down the characteristics of a well-defined cybersecurity goal. Necessary. The goal must be essential for mitigating identified threats. If it's not tied to an actual risk, then it's not a priority. Complete. It should address all relevant aspects of identified threats comprehensively, leaving no gaps. Feasible. The goal must be achievable with the available resources and technology. There's no point in setting goals that can be realistically implemented. Unambiguous. It should be clearly defined and easy to understand with no room for misinterpretation. And avoid imprecise quantifiers. The goal must be specific. Avoid using vague terms like sufficient or adequate, which can be open to interpretation. A few examples of what these goals might look like in practice. For example, secure diagnostic data transmission. The goal here is to ensure the secure transmission of diagnostic data between onboard systems and external networks. The supporting controls might include data encryption using standards like TSL to prevent unauthorized data interception. The risks addressed include data tampering or unauthorized access during diagnostics. Another example is protect diagnostic interfaces and access points. This goal focuses on securing access points used for diagnostics to prevent unauthorized access. Implementing access controls such as authentication and authorization can help limit who has access to these critical interfaces. The threats mitigated include unauthorized commands or data extraction through diagnostic ports. When it comes to deriving cybersecurity goals, the TAR plays a critical role. We begin by considering the context in which the TAR is being developed. This involves clearly defining the item under consideration, understanding the operational environment in which the item will function, identifying the critical security properties that must be maintained, such as confidentiality, integrity, and availability. The expected outcomes of this process include establishing a clear cybersecurity goal, creating cybersecurity claims to achieve these goals, defining the assets and interactions that need protection. The process typically starts with defining the item, moves through identifying critical interactions, and ends with establishing robust cybersecurity goals. One common question that comes up is whether you can use a hazard analysis and risk assessment to define cybersecurity goals. The answer here is a clear no. While both TARA and HARA involve risk assessments and want to ultimately protect the road user at the end of the day, they have different purposes. TAR focuses on protecting information integrity and preventing malicious attacks. HARA, on the other hand, is all about protecting human life and physical assets by ensuring operational safety. HARA looks at accidental system failures, while TARA is concerned with intentional attacks. For example, HARA would address threats like unauthorized access to vehicle systems, while HARA would focus on ensuring airbags deploy correctly in an accident. A cybersecurity concept is essentially a high-level requirement that ensures the item in question meets specific cybersecurity goals. This includes both hardware and software, and it's critical to verify that these goals align with the intended functionality of the system. In practice, this involves confirming that the cybersecurity concept aligns with both the requirements for the item itself and the broader operational environment in which it functions. It also encompasses cybersecurity controls that protect against potential threats. A cybersecurity claim is a statement about a risk that you are addressing. This becomes particularly important when you are transferring risk to the cybersecurity environment. Unlike cybersecurity goals, which are broad, cybersecurity claims are focused statements that specify what needs to be protected and how. These claims are crucial for addressing risks that might not be directly covered by your initial cybersecurity goals, but are still relevant to the overall system security. Generally, when you have risks that the risk statement is that you are retaining or sharing, this would fall under it becoming a cybersecurity claim, and you would include a justification along with it. Before we end this section, let's think about some goals we can come up with for an example. What are some security goals we can set for a headlamp control system? Now once again, you can pause and take some time to think for yourself. Let's move on. We already know the following must be true, but what are some security-specific goals that can be set? Headlamp control must always be available to driver, vehicle is powered on. Must turn on when initialized by reduced sun exposure or driver input. But what else? How about ensure secure transmission of data and control signals between the headlamp control unit and other vehicle systems? Also, ensure that diagnostic data related to the headlamp system is protected from unauthorized access. Implement secure boot processes and software integrity checks to ensure that only authorized software can run on the headlamp control module. And lastly, protect the integrity of commands sent to the headlamp system to prevent unauthorized or malicious signals that could control the lights, for example, turning them on or off or changing brightness. This concludes this section on cybersecurity goals. In the next video, we will cover the basics of cybersecurity requirements.